Going over to the political part of the podcast, you have Matt Walsh saying America first and family first, going viral on social media. Now, this is retweeted thanks to Red Wave Press, and he actually is just quoting Matt Walsh, so without too much further ado, straight from the horse's or the walrus's mouth, as we should say here.
I'm America only in the same sort of sense that I am my family only. My priority is my family. I will never put any other family above my own. I will help other families only to the extent that it brings no harm to my own family. My family is the only family that I treat as my family because it is my only family. There will never be a time when the interests of another family will come before my own. If I had to choose between rescuing 1,000 strangers from a fire or just one of my children, I would choose my child without hesitation. It could be 1,000,000 strangers that I could rescue or just one of my children, and I will choose my child. I'd say that's my family only. And I also think that every parent would do the same. Now, our leaders are not our parents, and we're not their children, so I hesitate a little bit to make those kinds of analogies, but the same general principle should apply. They should prioritize their people, Americans, above all other people on earth. They should concern themselves with other nations only to the degree that it benefits Americans. If they could choose between helping 10 million foreigners or one American family, they should choose the American family without hesitation. If they could help 10 million foreigners, but it would harm one American family, then they should not help those 10 million foreigners.
True, but they don't.
Okay, this is what it means to be a nation, a people, or what it should mean. And from the time George Washington was president, no American, no one who truly cared about conserving and protecting this country disagreed with this. It's obvious. Now, from the responses I received over the weekend, it is clear that my statements are now considered highly incendiary, even among some conservatives, for stating that our leaders should exclusively prioritize America's interests only. That's what we mean by American only. The only interests that matter are our own. And for saying that, I was criticized from many directions. And I also received some words of concern, or perhaps more eager anticipation from other commentators who prophesied that I would be fired for that video that I just played. A lot of comments like that. Well, if you're hearing this and you're watching it, it seems safe to say that I was not, in fact, fired from my job for saying that we should prioritize America's interests. Nor would it have made much sense if I had been, because I've been saying the same thing for many years now, and it's also just really obvious.
It's really obvious, and yet it isn't for about half the country, as we see politicians on the left and the right sell us out pretty much every day. One of the contributing factors why we are, again, $38 trillion in debt, as we use so much money to pay for people who broke into our country, people who don't work, who can't, or some can't, but a lot of people just don't want to, and propping up governments all over the planet that in no way help us. Giving out trillions every year in foreign aid to places most people can't even point to on a map, and most countries that don't care about us, and some who even hate us. Some who aren't even strategic business partners, and we just give them piles of cash at the expense of you and I, no taxpayers. And yeah, in terms of Matt saying, "Oh yeah, I didn't get fired. I'll never get fired." Yeah, we'll see. I was about to say I don't want him to get fired. I think Matt would be happier, more successful, both monetarily as well as just views and societally and culturally, if he did his own venture. Again, the Daily Wire cares about a lot of things, not just America, and they're very much in supporting other countries, primarily Israel. Which again, you can make an argument strategically. We do some business with them. We also give them money, so they make things. But it's an instance where, yeah, Matt is very much the last contrarian personality at the Daily Wire. Michael Knowles is getting there, but in terms of folks who are maybe becoming the next Candace Owens, in terms of, as Ben would say, going outside the company's Overton window in their area of allowed speech, Matt's out there. Again, I do think he'd be more successful on his own. So I don't, necessarily hope he gets fired, but I think he'd be more respected and people like him even more if he was. Now, this went pretty viral. Got 2 million views and 25,000 likes. The first comments comes to us thanks to the conservative alternative. Says, quote, Matt's got the right idea here. MAGA, America first, America only. Which he has a Ricky Bobby from Talladega Nights. It says, if you're an American first, oh, that sounds like Bush. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a terrible impression. America. I don't know. If you're in America first, you're America last. Getting 279 likes. Chris Tisking says, that's enough, Matt. It's a Jewish guy with is that Ben Shapiro? It's AI, of course, holding a microphone and says, shut it down, getting 676 likes. Knights of the Kingdom as a cartoon of a family, and the man throws away his hat that says MAGA, and the new hat says America First, getting 173 likes. Daniel Ackers says Based, has the same comic, getting 85 likes. Squirrels in My Head simply says, isn't that anti-Semitism? And it got 292 likes. Alex Cutter says, the fact that this is even remotely controversial is absolutely insane, getting 501 likes, which, yeah, it is. Again, you also have a lot of people and politicians who think you should get everything free here if you break into the country, and we should be bailing out other countries, as well as, there's a lot of people who don't put Americans first, don't put taxpayers first, don't put law-abiding citizens first. Posting Patton says, that sounds anti-Semitic, getting 178 likes. Sam Parker says, quote, yet he continues working for and supporting the most prominent Israel First operative in the world, getting 1.4 thousand likes, quite a few to say the least. In the Belly says, I slightly disagree. If it were my son and another kid, of course I'd save my son. Even if it were my son or 2 others, I'd probably still save him. But if it were my child versus 1,000 kids, I think I'd have to save the 1,000, even though it would destroy me. Would anyone else make that choice? Getting 35 likes. Was she ratioed? Yeah. Bull Rush 44570 says, F no, getting 45 likes. David says, that's crazy. My children come before absolutely everything else. That is literally our job as parents, getting 36 likes. Well, 35. I made 36. Rover says, no, you need to have loyalty to your child that can't be broken no matter what. That's your duty as a parent. There's no greater good worthy of sacrificing them, getting 17 likes. Which, not to get too biblical or be a contrarian, though I shall, that is what God asked Abraham, though again, he didn't go through it as a test. The seed says, politicians are elected to represent their constituents, not the rest of the world, getting 212 likes. Let's see. Some people are saying he's Captain Obvious. Let's see. Kaiser says, I wonder if Matt would... Oh, Jesus. This is extremely pejorative. I shall read it. Try to keep it moderately family friendly, though, so I'll reword it a little bit. But Kaiser says, I wonder if Matt would pleasure 1,000 strangers to save one of his kids. Getting 400. I got 444 likes. I didn't click it. He just got 647 likes. And, yeah. Going down more and more. Yeah, Happy Camper says, feel good story, getting 6 likes. Let's see. Midwest Groiper says, Matt Walsh, empty words till you stop working for Ben Shapiro, getting 32 likes. He's got 2.5 thousand likes here. This is from Grabowski. He says, quote, this is why conservatives suck as politicians and are more prone to corruption. If I can abuse my position to give my family a benefit, I would screw over 10,000 families to do it, getting 2.5 thousand likes and obviously missing the point. Going down more and more. A lot of people asking those adult-oriented questions. TM says, all we're working for Israel First, Ben Shapiro, getting 11 likes. But yeah, let me know in the comments. I mean, how many politicians truly put Americans first? I mean, Trump recently just said, oh yeah, we should have more H-1B visa holders and import more Chinese students to prop up the woke colleges that I would argue actually hurt society and culture in the United States. So that doesn't feel like America first, but let me know your thoughts because, as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so click that button. Greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down in the comments. Great way to give me some additional feedback. Let me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, to anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.